Hey guys, I hope that you're all doing very well. I have some exciting news. For the most part, we are done learning new stuff in Algebra 1 this year. I'm really excited to start kind of spending the next few weeks going back and reviewing some of the things that we've learned so far this year, especially the really important skills that I think are going to help you guys as you move forward into geometry and then on to Algebra 2. So I just want to say that I'm really excited to be going back. I think that you guys have learned so much this year that it'll really benefit you to kind of go back. If you thought that quadratics and the x squared and the parabola, if you thought that that was all, super difficult, that's okay. You're going to see that again in Algebra 2, but I want to make sure that you guys are really up on your solving equations this week. So that's our goal. So this week you're not going to see any x squareds. You're not going to see any factoring. You're not going to see any square root signs. All we're going to be looking at is solving for x, all right? And this is going to be the linear type of equation, which means we don't have any exponents, okay? So I've got some little notes over here on the right side. I think that this is a really good sort of 5 steps that usually you have to do to solve a difficult equation, right? Now, a lot of times we don't have to do all of these steps. A lot of times we're only doing steps 4 or 5, or we're skipping steps 2 or 3 because they don't really apply. But these really are some good steps to sort of understand. All right, so I want to go through each one. So the distributive property, we know that we have to do distributive property when we see something that looks like this. Something like 4 times x minus 2. All right. If you see something that looks like this in your problem, that's where you're going to use the distributive property. Okay. So we call this the distributive property. Okay. And it really is a good first step. If you see parentheses in your problem, if you see these sort of curvy marks around a couple of different things, it's a good place to start to do your distributive property. So the way that we do to this, the distributive property is we multiply whatever is in front by each term inside. Okay, each term inside. So inside we have 2 terms. We have an x and we have a negative 2. So that means that the 4 has to get multiplied by each of the things that are on the inside there. Okay, so one way that we can sort of do this is to draw our arrows. And so we know that we're going to have 4 times x, and then we're going to have plus, right, because there's sort of 2 things here. 4 times negative 2. Now, you don't have to show all these steps. I'm just really going slow just to remind you of the distributive property. So now we can sort of simplify this. So 4x is just going to be 4x. And then 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So this is the same thing as this. Okay, so this is a good step for us to remember how to do. Okay, the next thing that you might have to do is combine like terms. So you'll see over here, we had our distributive property as our first step, and then our second step is going to be combining any like terms that we see. Okay, so it's possible. Again, this is not sort of one example problem. It's all just sort of broken up into different just different skills. I'll do an example at the end, and of course I'll do some homework help as well. I'll make a video for that. So combining like terms is where we might have something that looks like this. Okay, and then maybe there's something else over here on the other side of the equal sign, but what's important is that combining like terms is where we don't cross the equal sign, all right? That's what it says right there, don't cross the equal sign. So what that means is we're just simplifying or putting together things that are the same type of term. So here we've got some x's, and here we've got some numbers, all right? So the x's we can put together, so this is going to be 2x plus 9x. 2x plus 9x is 11x. All right, and then we can also put these together. We've got a 6 minus a 3, right, because it's a negative 3. Make sure that you keep those signs there. And so 6 minus 3 is plus 3. So we can say that this and this are the same thing, but this is much easier to work with. So that's combining like terms. Okay, so that's a good review of combining like terms for you. All right, so the next step that you might have to do in an equation is to get all the variable terms, that's our x's or our r's or b's or l's or whatever letter we're using. We got to get all the variable terms onto one side of the equation. And the key here, it does not matter which side you choose. All right, so you could either go to the left or to the right. So let's look at an example of something where we might have to do that. So again, this was combining like terms. That's number 2. All right. So this is getting everything on the same side. So if I have something like 2x minus 6 equals, let's say that it's 12x plus 17. Okay, so if we have something that looks like this, what you'll notice is, and this is what you're going to see on a lot of the problems that we're going to be working on our homework this week, we have a variable that is on both sides of that equal sign. Okay, so step 3 is to put all variables on the same side. Okay, so we have two options. We can either get rid of this 2x, that way all we have is the 12x on this side, or we can get rid of the 12x and all we would have is the 2x, right? Now, I don't particularly care which way you do it. It doesn't matter. What I tend to like to do, my favorite way to do it is I like to get rid of the smaller one. That's going to leave my numbers positive, right? So to get rid of 2x, I have to cancel it all the way out, all right? If I want to get rid of 2x, I have to cancel it all the way out, but I have to do that to both sides of the equation, all right? Important to remember combining like terms, you can only combine x's with x's and numbers with numbers. So you'll notice I'm not doing anything to the negative 6. I'm not doing anything to the 17. That'll be something that I would do later on in the problem, right? But here I'm just trying to get all the x's onto the same side. These cancel out. 12 minus 2 is 10, so this is going to be 10x, all right? So now we have, so that's an important step to be able to do. You'll notice how important that was. We got rid of all the variables from this side, and so now our result is that we have all our x's are all on the same side of the equation. Okay, the fourth thing we might have to do is get all the numbers onto the other side, right? Get all the numbers onto the other side. So let me come up with an example for that. So this might be like 6x plus 5 equals 11x minus 7, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do step 3 here first. So step 3, remember, was to put all the variables on one side. Okay, but then the big step we're doing here, step 4, is going to be to put all the numbers on the other side. Okay, all right, so let's see what this will look like. All right, so if I've got the variables here, so I'm going to do it the same way I did before. I'm going to get rid of the smaller one. Okay, there's my x line, okay, or my equal sign. So if I subtract 6x here, that goes away. That's why I chose to subtract 6x. So I'm left with just the plus 5. And then on this side, 11 minus 6 is 5. So I've got 5x minus 7. All right, so that was kind of the step 3. Now to do step 4, now I need to focus on the numbers. And you'll notice, so the variables came over to this side. So this is now my variable side. And what that means is that this side has to be my number side. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this negative 7. I'm going to do that by adding 7 to both sides. All right, negative 7 and plus 7 go away, and so I'm left with 5 plus 7. So on this side, I've got the 12. 12 equals 5x. All right, not going to finish this problem yet because that's what we're going to have to do when we do step 5. So step 5, speaking of which, if you take a look right here, It says step 5 is to divide to get the variable all by itself. Step 5, get the variable all by itself. And usually we divide to do that, right? So here's an example of that. So maybe you're working out a problem and you see that you've got like 9x equals 72. All right, or a second example that I'll do just to show you that you can do it from either side. We'll say that 12 equals 3x. All right, so we've got two different things here, two different examples, and our goal here is to divide to get the x by itself. Okay, so these are the 5 skills that you need to solve your equations. So let's go ahead and do these very quick. Divide by the number in front of the x. So the coefficient in front of x is 9. Divide by 9, that goes away. 9 divided by 9 is 1, so this is now just 1x. 72 divided by 9 is 8. All right. Or your x could also be on the right side, so this time we're not dividing by 12, we divide by the number in front of x. And so that's a 3, right? So we divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 4 equals x. So it can work either way. You can either have the x on the right or on the left. Okay, I'm going to set up to do one example problem here. So give me 1 second to do that. I'm going to do a little bit of screen magic. Okay, so here is an example that I've chosen to do. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit just so that we can see this problem. Okay, so obviously a lot going on here. I'm going to work quickly because I've only got 3.5 minutes left. So step 1 is to do our distribution, right? That's what it says over here. Perform any distributive property shown. And we have 2 of those. We've got one here and we've got one here. All right, so 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is positive 14. All right, then we've got our negative 34, our equal sign, 4x minus 11x plus, now I've got to multiply the 4 by both of the things inside, so I get 4x, and then 4 times negative 1. Don't forget to do that second multiplication. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Okay, our second step in this problem is to combine any like terms in the equation. So this is where we're not crossing the equal sign. So I'm going to sort of separate our problem here. Is there anything I can combine on this side? I've got some x's, and then I've got a number 14 and another number 34. Sure enough, I can combine those two things. 14 minus 34 is negative 20. So this is now 2x minus 20, right? I just took these two and I combined them into the negative 20. Now let's look at this side. This side I've got 1, 2, 3 terms that have x's, and so I can combine all of those. 4 minus 11 is negative 7. All right, then I've got this this 4x here, so negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. So negative 3x minus 4. Okay, so now we're on to step 3. So step 3, try to get all the variable terms onto one side of the equation. Okay, so here I've got x's, here I've got x's. Let's try to get them all onto the same side. Here I'm going to get rid of the negative 3 because I don't like negative numbers. To get rid of negative 3, I add 3. So I'm adding 3x to each side. These sort of go away. They make a 0. 2x plus 3x is 5x. So now I've got 5x minus 20 equals negative 4. All right, now let's add 20 to both sides. All right, this is doing that step 4, which is to make sure that we get all the constants or the regular numbers on the other side of the equation. So if this is now my variable side, because I moved the x's over here, now I got to move the numbers onto the other side. So I'm getting rid of the negative 20 by adding 20, so now I'm left with 5x because these go away. Negative 4 plus 20 is positive 16. Okay, so now I've got 5x equals 16. So now let's go ahead and divide. And it looks like I'm going to end up with a fraction answer here. Fraction answers are okay. I'm just going to leave it as a fraction there. So this is going to be 5, so I'm dividing by 5. That's my last step, right? Divide by the divide to get the variable all by itself. That's what our steps here say. And so I'm left with 5, or x equals 16 over 5. If you wanted to turn that into a decimal, I think it's probably something like 3.2. Okay, so there's our answer. all 5 of our steps in one problem. You won't have a whole lot where you have to do all 5 steps. Make sure that you are doing that assignment on the hub. Join the office hours. Check out the homework help video. And don't forget to do your Flipgrid. Bye, guys.